Welcome, everyone, to the High Life Summit, how to quickly master your vibration and thoughts to live a life of success, significance, and joy. I am your host, Melanie Newman, and I am absolutely delighted to spend time with our expert today, Amanda Collins. So let me tell you a little bit about her. Amanda Collins is a spiritual leader, women's empowerment coach, motivational speaker, and feng shui master. She is a founder of the International Feng Shui School, a certification training program, Inner Circle of Wisdom, which is a conscious online community. Amanda's vision is that you will love yourself unconditionally and know your self-worth, and from that place have a deep sense of peace and joy, and to let that ripple effect all across the world. That is how we can work towards world peace. I love that. Amanda's clients include companies like DreamWorks, Bloomingdale's, Morgan Stanley, Hewlett-Packard, Bank of America, and many more. She has also been featured in Vogue, Yoga Journal, Fox News, and many other media sources. To get to know Amanda more, get to know her at amandacollins.com. So, Amanda, I want to thank you. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Melanie, I'm so honored to be here with you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Let's jump right in and have you share with us. What I am excited to learn about is feng shui. And can you tell us what it is and how that affects our vibration? Our theme is on mastering thoughts and vibration. So can you tell us about that and what feng shui is? What does that mean to our vibration?
Absolutely. Well, everything is made up of energy, and that is scientifically proven. So, whether we're talking about your vibration or your energy, it's the same thing, right? It's just this energy that you carry. And if you think about it, we spend about 80% of our time inside. So the energy of your home and every single item that you have consciously or unconsciously chosen to place in your home is going to have such a powerful effect. So what is feng shui? Well, I think the best way to explain what feng shui is when you walk into your home or your office, you should feel like you're receiving this embrace. You should feel the love, you should feel inspired, you should feel safe. Because the thing is you don't really have any choice about the restaurant down the road or, the library or a store that you go into of the energy. But in your own home, you absolutely 100% get to choose how you set your home up, where you choose to live. And really nothing should be in your home unless you love, need, and use it. If you've ever read the book Autobiography of a Yogi by Yogananda, he talks about the power of the environment being more powerful than the power of the mind. Because, mastering the mind is a lifetime practice for all of us. So to be in your home that is fully embracing and supporting all parts of you, of course, that's just going to lift and raise your vibration up. And the amazing thing is, because I've been practicing feng shui for almost 20 years, when I walk into somebody's home, it truly is a reflection of their inner self. So if I walk into a home that's filled with clutter, usually they're really stuck in their life because the energy isn't moving, and then that relates to your energy being stuck in your life. Or if I go into a home and all the light bulbs are burnt out, usually people are really burnt out in their lives. Or there's loose door handles. It means they don't have a good grip, a firm grip. So absolutely, undoubtedly, the vibration, the energy of your home absolutely affects your energy on every single level, promotes a good night's sleep, promotes, if you feel safe in your home and you're allowed to feel peaceful, your whole nervous system can relax. You can breathe. And when you can live that way, your health will be affected in a beautiful, light-filled way. So on every level, how you set up your home, and allow your home to be a reflection of who you are and what you want to align with in this moment. A lot of the time, I walk into people's homes and they have all this stuff that they inherited, or just stuff that they got on sale, or stuff that somebody gave to them. And I really invite people to reclaim their space. And so, the first question I ask is, when you walk in home, do your spirits rise or do they fall? So that's a really, really important question I would ask everybody. Wait till the next time you leave your home, and then when you step in there, just close your eyes, take a breath, and just notice how you feel.
And then ask, so repeat that question. Does it open you up? Does it lighten you, or does it weigh you down? What should we ask ourselves? Do my spirits rise or do they fall? That's it. Okay. Do my spirits rise?
Like, do you notice when you walk in the front door, you just all of a sudden feel tired? And, one very simple reason for that could be, if you walk in, first of all, it's hard to get the key in the door, and you're like, the door is a bit jammed, and then you finally get in the door, and there's a pile of bills and mail that hasn't been opened, and then there's just a piece of artwork that does not inspire you and lift up. Because the front door is so important. The front door is where all that beautiful energy comes flowing in, and it's the first thing you see when you come to your home. So it's so important that when you walk up to your front door, it's warm and it's welcoming. There's nothing prickly or sharp. A beautiful welcome mat. Make sure the front door is in good working order. The key works, because that's all going to reflect supporting you to thrive in your life. When you're in that space, of course, your vibration is high.
Yes. And sometimes if we're not aware, we have things and it just accumulates and we start not seeing it. And yet they're really having an effect on us.
Absolutely. It's amazing how we get used to something. We just get used to, just having all the stuff that does not align with us, like a lot of the time people keep all these things from the past because on some level they're holding on to it. Like one example would be if somebody was really ready to come into a loving relationship and let's say they came to a divorce 10 years prior. Do you know how many homes I go into? Let's say for a woman that's come through a divorce or something, and I go into her bedroom, we go into her closet, and she may still have her wedding dress and the photo album, or even like the wedding ring. And the first thing she shared with me is, I so want to meet somebody and be in a loving relationship. And every time she goes into her closet, it's like the past, and it pulls down her energy, and it does not in any shape or form support her to align with attracting the love of her life into her present moment.
Right. So how do you help someone with that? It's not just physical. It is emotional, mental. You've got to break through some barriers to help them see what's blocking them. How does a person get through that?
Absolutely.
There's various reasons I mentioned.
Yeah. Well, I think the very, very first thing is awareness. Just bringing awareness, like, okay, let's talk about what it is you want. Well, I want to be happy, or I want more freedom, or I want vibrant health, or I'd love to meet my soulmate, or I want to leave my present job, and or whatever it is. So I think, first of all, what is it you'd like to align with? What do you want to open up to? I don't really like to use the word manifest because I think everything's within us. Sometimes it's just a matter of us allowing, right? But I always know that if somebody calls me, or they're in a class or a course or something, they are ready for change. And you know that saying, when the student's ready, the teacher arrives.
Yeah.
So I think it's becoming clearer with what is it that I want to bring in. Like, I want to move from fear into faith. I want more trust. I want more clarity. So let's get clear on what the energy is, the vibration is, the feeling, even more important. What is the feeling that you want? Okay, so the feeling is you want love, you want self-love, right? And then it's like we walk into your home, and we would walk through your home, and I would just look at items in your home and be like, how do you feel when you look at this? And they might be like, oh, I've never thought of that before. I've never thought about how I feel in my home. I just, walk in the door and, I've never actually thought of that before, because people are very happy to bring consciousness and awareness to their diet. Like, I'm going to eat way more vegetables, or consciousness to their language. Like I'm going to, be aware of my wording or my thoughts, or, whatever area of their life they're choosing to become more conscious. But the environment is a whole nother really, really important area to look at. So let's have a look in your home. Notice, bring an awareness to how you feel in it. And then if you notice that your spirit's full, let's find out why. And like I said, it could be something as simple as piles of clutter everywhere, or all of these stuff from the past, like as I said, a piece of artwork that, they're like, oh, I don't know, I just got it on sale and it fit the wall. And then they look at it and oh, it's really dark, or it's like really showing lack, or, and so we stand a moment longer and we look at it. We're like, how do you feel when you look at that art? You know what? Like, it actually really lowers my vibration. So I'll never say to somebody, this has to go or that has to go, but let's just notice how you feel and let's bring awareness to it, or when you walk into your closet and you see the wedding dress from your marriage from 10 years ago that you've been divorced, how does that make you feel? And it's like, oh my goodness, I never realized that on some level I hadn't completely let go of that relationship.
Yes. So you are actually training people to get in touch with what they're feeling, learning to recognize how they feel.
Yeah, how they feel about their home, and how they feel about everything they brought into their home, and how they just feel in general, absolutely, because we know that everything is vibration, right? And the home is, because if we're really just looking at feng shui here, the home is just a reflection. Like if I go into somebody's home and there's a clock in every room, and all the clocks are stopped, it's usually because they're standing still. Again, like they're stuck. I went to another person's home and there was nothing but masks everywhere. And by the end of our time together, it came out that they were hiding behind something, and they had this whole other life that they hadn't shared with their family.
Oh, wow. There's so much you can learn, and so much we can learn about ourselves by just, like you said, being aware, being conscious. So that would be our first step. I love how, I guess I'm getting the feeling that it doesn't have to be that hard. We can take simple steps to make some small changes. Is that right, or is this more complicated?
Oh, no, it really is that simple. Okay, so number one, clear clutter. Only have in your home what you love, need, and use, and that brings you joy. And when you're in your joy, your vibration just soars. The second simple thing would be just get everything that's broken fixed. So if you're looking out the window with cracked windows, that's how you look out in the world. And of course, looking out through a cracked window is going to lower your vibration. If you have a mirror that you look in every day and there's a crack in it, and you look your beautiful self in the face and you see a crack through the mirror, again, all these things are going to lower your vibration. So simple as that, like clear clutter, number one, and number two, just fix everything that's broken in your home. And then if I was to come up with a tip number three, it would be all about creating balance in your life. Like Melanie, I'm so grateful we got to chat before, our interview together, and you shared with me you've got 6 children, and I shared that I've got like a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and balance is so important. So of course, we love our children more than anything in the world. And, before my children, my house used to be like always pristine and perfect, right? Like, and then I had kids and it was like, oh, wow, like I've got to really release and surrender, and I've got to be compassionate for them and for me, and just realize like, there needs to be balance, because everybody needs to be honored in the home. The children really, really need to be honored for their growth and expansion and joy. But we also, as the parents, need to be honored as well, like to also be living in a home that we feel good. So like a lot of the time I get calls, let's say from moms and dads, and they're like, I just feel like I have no time to myself, and my self-care isn't there. And so I'll go up to the home, and when you walk in the front door, and this is an experience within my own life I've grown into as well, but every single wall is covered of either the children's art or photographs of the children. So if we're talking about the home being a representation or a reflection, like it's saying that, okay, where's mom and dad included in this? Where are you being honored? And so what I would suggest, something as simple as get a beautiful frame and let them choose the picture of the month. And every month, a beautiful piece of picture wherever they just decide to put it. And then there's a gorgeous book where all the rest of the art is put. And then all of a sudden, when you even make that shift and the parents of artwork that soothes their soul and the children are being honored, they're all of a sudden, this balance is created in the environment. And then, if I was to say a tip number 4 to really raise your vibration through your home and through your environment, through feng shui, would be self-care. We know how vital that is to keep your vibration high. Because if your fire, your candle is not lit, well then how can you sustain and look after other people? So self-care. So I always say to people when I go into their homes, show me, somebody might say, oh, well, I have no time to myself, or, okay, I'm saying, well, where have you created space for that in your home? And they look at me with a blank, stare, and I'm like, what do you mean? I mean, where is the yoga or meditation room? Or where is the hammock in the garden? And they're like, confused. And I'm like, so in order for you to have self-care and sacred space to yourself, you need to create it. So if you don't have a spare room, how about there's even just a very special chair that you put in an area in a room that everybody knows that if you're in that chair, that just to give you some space. Or maybe it's, somewhere in the home, because a lot of the time I go into homes and it could be a 5-bedroom home, a 6-bedroom home, and 3 of the rooms are just guest bedrooms for the guests that come 1 week a year. So how about creating, if you've always wanted to learn music, or you really want to do crafts, or you want the meditation room, well then don't set up all these rooms for the guests that come. Set the home up that allow you and your family, whoever else lives in the home, to thrive and to have what you need to allow your cup to be abundant and for you to feel really good in life.
I love that. I love that, to balance and create that environment, and that both are being honored, because we see that a lot, and especially as women, we're nurturers, and fathers too. They care for their family, and so it's all about raising and helping them, but we can serve them better as we honor ourselves also. It's not an either or, it's an and. We can find a way to do both. And I appreciate what you said about compassion, showing compassion when we have challenges in our homes, or there's a mess, or there's things happening with children. Let's show compassion to our children and for us, and be a little more flexible, and how that brings us to that balance. That you are bringing up some excellent points that we all need to hear.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, really, this is through my own experiences and the experiences of my clients, and just knowing to keep your vibration high, that you need to put certain things in place, and at the same time to allow yourself to be in what I call that divine flow, and that would really lead me on to my next tip, let's say number 5, right? Because feng shui is all about connecting us with nature, right? So if you think back maybe hundreds of years ago, maybe 1,000 years ago or more, we didn't have clocks, we didn't have computers, we didn't have watches, calendar. We just would look up to the sun and the moon and the stars and the cosmos, and we would just know when to plant our crops. We would know just okay, we have this element, I know this plant does this and this plant does that. We were so connected to the natural rhythms of nature and to our higher selves that we just had this innate wisdom and this deep knowing and intuition. But nowadays, a lot of the time, people go from their home to their car to their office, back into their car, and back, and have lost that connection. So feng shui really, really invites us to step back into that. So step back into, first of all, just nature. I mean, it is vital every single day that you have time out in nature, whether it's your garden or the beach or a forest or a mountain. And if you're even in an apartment, just put some beautiful plants on a balcony, right? But just getting time outside is vital for our well-being, body, mind, and soul. But feng shui is all about connecting the indoor and the outdoors and allowing that to become one. So bringing the plants inside your home that give out oxygen, take away carbon dioxide. Bring in the beautiful crystals. Bring in a beautiful water fountain to, the water reminds us to go with the flow. It doesn't, like if you see a river and there's a rock in the middle of it, it doesn't stop the water flowing. The water goes, okay, there's a rock. Okay, I'm just going to flow around it. And it reminds us, I'm bringing nature in. If you ever look at nature, it does not rush, but yet everything happens. They still blossom. The flowers still come out. And nature doesn't ask for permission. A tree, is it okay if my branch grows this way? No, the tree just goes deep into itself. It allows the roots go into the earth, and then it reaches up for the light. And so when we bring nature in, it allows us to mirror that in our lives.
I love that. You have just made it so beautiful, just your words, and we can just connect into that. If we can do this in our own homes, in our environments, in our offices, and we can create that atmosphere. And I can really see how that helps us open up and connect in to nature. Can I just ask you, does feng shui actually mean specific words?
Yeah, I mean, that would help if I actually told you what feng shui translated to, right? You're like, what does it mean? Feng shui is actually wind and water. And so, what it represents is balance. So like water, think about water, right? We cannot survive without it. We drink it to survive. I think we can go a day or so without it. We wash with it. We clean everything with it. But in saying that also, water is powerful and we need it. But imagine it's tsunami, and it can destroy an entire city. So water in balance is such a gift. But water out of balance can cause serious destruction, just like wind. A gentle breeze on a warm day can feel amazing, or we can create electricity from the wind, but a really, really strong windstorm, again, can cause serious destruction. So it's about feng shui, wind and water, bringing all our elements within ourselves, within our home, into balance.
Oh, wow. Okay. That just helps give a greater visualization for that.
Thank you. What a great question. And it's like, speaking of balance, tip number 5 is balance. So number 6 would be, while creating balance, sometimes I walk into people's homes and there's so much red or purple or orange, and, to have bright colors obviously is lovely, but at the same time, there's got to be a balance. So if you go into somebody's home and you just notice all of a sudden you've walked in there and you actually start feeling like anxiety because it's just too much. It's just, all the walls are red, and it can have that effect on people. Or at the same time, if you've ever gone to somebody's home and everything in the home is white and it's almost so perfect and pristine, you feel like you can't even sit anywhere, So that, if we saw everything white, that would mean the metal element, and there's just too much metal. And somebody that has too much metal, it usually means they like quality and they like things done right and they like detail. But if there's too much, it can support with focus. But if there's too much, it means that you're not flexible, you're not fluid and moving like the water, right? Or if you go into a home and there's just red everywhere, that's just a lot of fire element. And it's like too much fire. When there's too much fire, can lead to aggression in the home and things like that, or just if you have too much red in the bedroom or something, not being able to sleep well enough. So again, we're always invited to just step back into balance and just really, and it's usually when somebody is expressing themselves in such a way, if a teenager or something paints every single wall in their bedroom black, it's usually because they're expressing something on the inside. It's and they're just trying to process it and move it out of their body, because I get calls from parents and they're like, my son is depressed or my daughter is depressed, and I go to their home and the whole walls are black, and then all the posters in the room are of the latest kind of war movies. And now, do you think that would raise anybody's vibration sleeping in a room like that?
No. Yeah. It affects us.
Yeah. So that's where it really comes back to, our home is a reflection of where we're usually at or where we've been in the past. And if we really, really want to get in alignment with the present and that which the life that we want to live, like if it's more love or it's more joy, let's only have what you love in your home and that brings you joy. You know, if it's more abundance, like as you look at, let's say, even your artwork, or like when you look at that artwork, does it represent abundance? And I would ask that person, what if you were to think about it and to look at it on your art would be abundance? Some people tell me like it's a beautiful ocean scene, and some people say it's like a whole field full of beautiful lavender, or, you know, and so it is what it is to the beholder. It is what it is to their life experiences, because what it could be for you, Melanie, and what it could be for me could be two completely different things. So it's really about honoring that person in their home and where they're at, and also just what they really want to align with.
Okay. So what is like the first step for somebody who's, this is all new and we're getting the idea, okay, we can make some changes. What would be the first change we should make? We're aware of it, but what do we do once we're aware that, okay, this room is cluttered or this room makes me feel this way? What next?
Clear the clutter. Clear it. And, you know, for some people, it might be like, oh, that's easy. Okay, you know, like I'll get right to that. And then for some people, they're frightened they're going to forget the memory. They're frightened they're going to forget the person. They're frightened that they're never going to be able to afford again. Like if I take down this piece of artwork that I don't like, what happens if I can't afford it? So it's really about coming into trust, and it's about coming into alignment with what it is you want. And, you know, just trusting that everything comes to you exactly when you need it. And so some tips are, I really like one called the 3-box method. And so you get 3 boxes, and you kind of have one box, you know what, I'm really ready to let go of this stuff. A middle box, you know, I'm not really sure. And a third box where, you know, I need to keep this stuff for now, right? It's just not time for me to let go of it. So the one that you're ready to let go of, you pass that on to a charity or wherever you feel the best places. And that middle box that you're not sure of, close the box up, put it up in your cupboard, and come back a couple of weeks later. Don't open the box. And then just list what you put in the box. And if you can't remember what you even put in the box, it's a sheer sign that it's okay to let it go, right? Another one that I love is, you know, get some support, get some help, like get a girlfriend, a guy friend, somebody to come in and help you. And here's the thing is the clutter is not going to disappear magically. You have to actually schedule time on your calendar. So if you work Monday through Friday or something, on a Saturday morning, give yourself an hour or two. And Rome was not built in a day, so just choose one cupboard, just one cupboard. And give yourself like even the hour to do that. And then be really, really like loving and compassionate with yourself. And so if you do the one cupboard, acknowledge your amazing progress just even within that. Just even within that. And then just be happy with, you know, with that. Because a lot of times people think, yay, I'm going to clear the whole kitchen in this hour. And then you don't make even a fraction of the progress you wanted. And then, you know, obviously that lowers your vibration, you know. And then play some fun music, you know. And, you know, another huge one is clearing out the closet. A lot of the time I go into people's closets and, you know, you can't even fit in there. They're so full. And I'm like, well, tell me about your clothes. And they're like, well, this whole row I haven't, you know, well, when I lose the 10 pounds, I'll wear it. And so what happens is you go into this closet, you see all these clothes that don't fit you, right? And it pulls down your vibration and you kind of get depressed. And so you go off and eat a tub of ice cream because you're depressed because none of your clothes fit you, right?
Right.
So the invitation here is, if you haven't worn it in a year, let it go. If it doesn't honor you, you know, clothing has energy to it, a vibration to it. And, you know, after it's been worn and washed tons and tons of times, like sometimes it's faded or it loses that, like, that energy to it, you know. So, you know, go through your closet. If you haven't worn it in a year, let it go. They actually say that we only wear about 10% of our clothing anyway. 10%.
Oh. Wow.
It's like the greatest gift. I don't know if you've ever heard someone say like, oh, I cleared out my closet and I got the job. I cleared out my closet. I met my soulmate. Like, Because the truth is we know how energy works, right? If we want to bring new people, new opportunities, new things into our life, we have to make space. It's like somebody who's in a toxic relationship and they really, really want to be out of one. Well, there's little chance of coming into a good relationship if you're still in the old, right? So if you are to release things out of your life that are not good any longer, then you make space. And it's the same thing with in your home. If the home is so full, chock-a-block of things that are not supporting you and serving you, it's time to make space.
Yes. And it feels so wonderful. Anytime I've done that, whether it's a drawer or a closet or a room, afterwards it just feels so good. And the challenge for me is to maintain it, not let those things creep in. But being aware, like you said, is effective. And, okay, one thing also you just said is we need to schedule time. This honors ourselves, and it creates that opening so that it can happen and things can flow into our life. Let's give ourselves permissions, listeners, everyone. This is so possible and so needed. It's not just a nice thing. I believe it's very much needed to keep our vibration high, to live that joyful life that we're all desiring. Oh, you have had so many wonderful tips. Could you share with us your gift, and then I'll invite you to if you have any last thoughts.
Absolutely. Well, I am so excited to share the Inner Circle of Wisdom. It is a conscious online community. And there's lots and lots of amazing webinars and classes on feng shui and just conscious living. But if you would like to learn more about all these amazing, delicious topics that we've been chatting about by raising your vibration, in your home and in your life, and the Inner Circle of Wisdom is just got so much deliciousness infused in there. So my gift that I'm offering is a free month with the Inner Circle of Wisdom. And you get to go in there and watch and explore and expand. There's meditations and all sorts of wonderful things. So that is my gift. So have fun in there, and I'll look forward to connecting.
That sounds super fun. I love that. Thank you, Amanda, for that. Do you have any last thoughts for us?
Well, I have tons and tons and tons, but I would say, okay, there's so many delicious stuff, but just make sure that you make space and time for yourself every day. Just whether it is, as I said, a walk outside or a beautiful bath, a couple of, a little time to meditate, or a really good book that just lifts your spirits. But just make sure that every day, this is, really self-care, but just make sure that every day you make space for yourself. Whether, you're working and have a family, whatever it is, because that at the end of the day is going to feed you and feed your family and the work that you do in the world and everything on every level.
Yes. Beautiful. Oh, Amanda, thank you so much for sharing with us and for your gift. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, Melanie. It was truly my honor. Thank you.
And listeners, thank you for listening. And click on the link that's provided on the page. Accept Amanda's free gift. It sounds so fun. And get to know more about her. Go to her site. And so that link is right there, easily accessible. Just click on it and take advantage of that. And I want to thank listeners for being here. And this is Melanie Newman, encouraging each of you to live your life of success, significance, and joy. Thank you, everyone.